OM system OM-3 is the first camera of its kind in the market. It's super stylish, super beautiful, lightweight, but it has IP53 and the newest technologies from OM system. I came all the way from Poland to Morocco to test it out myself just before the release. This is my first review on my own YouTube channel. I'm making camera reviews for around 15 years or even more. In that time I tested almost every good camera on the market because I was working for the biggest media companies in Poland, and in this material I would like to start my own channel. So please give me thumbs up, share this video if you like it. So let's focus on the camera, not on myself. OM system OM-3 is the camera that reminds me of the camera I owned years ago. It's Olympus Pen F. It's also very similar to some old Olympus cameras. However, inside here you will find the newest tech. Basically, it's a retro stylish body with everything we can find in OM system OM-1 Mark II. So we have a top-notch specification. This is like 413 grams. Together with that small lens, 20 millimeters, this is, I don't know, 700 grams, way less than 1 kilogram. This is super lightweight, super comfortable to take it with you whenever you go, have it daily everywhere with you, and still have no compromise on the quality and durability, because this body has IP53 endurance class, so it's water resistant, dust resistant, it can be very low temperature, just like all the newest lenses, and the OM-1 Mark II camera, it's the same quality of endurance. We will start with talking about the body of this camera, which is comfortable to hold it like this with your one hand. There's plenty of space here, and however there's no grip, firm grip here. With this small lens, it's super comfortable and still lightweight. So it's really surprisingly well fitted into my hand. Here inside, the designers put a battery from OM-1 Mark II, so you can make a lot of pictures with this battery. During my stay here, in one day I made 250 pictures without any series of pictures. It was all single pictures of daily life, and it consumed around 25% of this battery. So you can easily make around 1000 pictures with this battery. And if you turn on some series of pictures like 120 frames per second or 50 frames per second, you can make thousands of pictures with this little stylish camera, which is also super unique. Because if you compare, for example, Fujifilm cameras like X100 or Nikon ZF, they are all great, but they don't last such long at one battery. However, they all have something in common, because also in this camera, in this OM-3, you have all those elements, functions of the camera that helps you to make faster pictures, to make pictures without any special requirements, make it more fun than the professional cameras. And one of the elements like this is this element here. You have 5 modes. The one here is the neutral with no changes, and then if you turn it left or right, change the modes of photography or video. And here you have the color, and there are 4 types of colors you can have here in this camera, and the same applies to mono. You have black and white pictures, 4 different types of pictures. Not only you can change those modes, but also you can change how they look. You have the saturation, you can make it more vivid or less vivid. You can apply this change to all the colors or just one color, so like for example blue. So blue can be more intense, and for example yellow can be less intense. You can change contrast, you can add vignette, you can make it more or less sharp. I like it a lot because the pictures, your JPEG pictures that the camera produces are quite nice. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of colors from Olympus cameras, but when I change them, manipulate the style of colors, the saturation, then it starts to look really interesting. and I don't have to spend a lot of time in Lightroom using them, but rather I can just use them right away, send it to my smartphone and post it online. So this is a very good idea. What I don't like about it is that it works quite hard if you are making pictures like this. It's quite hard to change this dial here, and you have to put a lot of power to do that. So I would like to change it so that it is not so hard, and also I would add here additional buttons so I can push it and just change the mode without doing this. You can also turn it on in menu, no problem, but this little change will be, I think, quite reasonable. What is also nice here is this little button here, CP Conceptual Photography. So they put all their special features in this camera into this little button. So you push it and change with this dial, and you can activate modes like ND filter or this half ND filter for landscapes like this. I used it extensively here during my stay in Morocco because it's a super nice way of adding additional value to your landscape pictures without bringing a lot of filters with you. Also, if you have lots of lenses, you need to have different filters. It all costs you a lot of money and takes you a lot of space in your bag. With this camera, you don't have to bring any single filter with you because you can use them electronically in this camera, and the results, in my opinion, is really fantastic. I also like the ND filters built in because you can, for example, blur the water in a landscapes like this. Also, you have these high-res pictures and have these 80 megapixels pictures, fantastic quality. And this is a very nice way to make it easier and use it more extensively than normal, because in many cameras the functions also somehow exist, at least some of them, but they are hidden in the menu and some people don't even know about their existence. What I also like about this camera is this switch here, this dial. You can change the modes from photo to video on SNQ, so slow motion videos. What I also like is this dial here. You have classic PSAM modes, but also half of this dial are custom modes, 1 up to 5, so you can change all the settings there and save them and just change it like this to have it at your hand. And 2 dials, very stylish, very precise, and it's a pleasure to use them and change the aperture or time. The camera doesn't have any joystick, but you can use this thing here to change the points of autofocus. It's super comfortable, and I also like the thing that for your thumb here. And this is really comfortable camera to hand it daily and make a lot of pictures with a huge comfort. What I also like is the viewfinder, OLED viewfinder, 2.36 million dots, high quality bright viewfinder. And also this 3-inch screen, it's a decent quality, 1.62 million dots. So again, not the best on the market, but usable, very bright and detailed, and yeah, it's enough to have joy from creating content or making pictures. What people may not like about this camera is that fact that it has only 1 slot for SD cards. For me, it's not a problem. I never lost any picture from my SD cards, maybe because I use a high quality cards like Angelbird. I have them for many years, but of course many of you probably would like to have 2 of them, and I can understand why. On the other side of the camera you have the micro HDMI, USB-C, so you can charge the camera, and also 2 mini jack slots for your headphones and microphone. Inside this camera is exactly OM system OM-1. It is 4/3 stacked BSI sensor, a little bit more than 20 megapixels, which has a really nice quality of pictures. You can easily make pictures from ISO up to 1600, 3200. If you have nice lens, the quality is really okay. Dynamic range is also okay. Of course, it's not a full frame quality, but you can take something from the shadows It's a really good quality pictures. So this little sensor inside has also a fantastic IS system that offers you 6.5 stops. If you use a stabilized lens, the function IS Syncs works, and altogether they give you 7.5 stops. I could see that when photographing and especially filming surfers here. I used a new lens from OM system 100-400. This lens is basically very similar to the previous one, but it is also weather sealed, so you can use it together with this body, and the quality is really nice. What is the most important, I used it handheld, so I had the equivalence of 800mm, and as you can see now, it's really stable footage that you can even professionally use for some purposes. So people at the beach were using some full-frame cameras with kind of similar long lenses like 800 or 300 or 600, and they were, of course, they are great. However, you need a tripod to use them. Otherwise, it's not possible to handheld make a really stable footage or pictures. I had the same issue last year when I was in Nazaré in Portugal. I was testing Canon 200-800 lens, which is fantastic, but again, it's a big, heavy piece of lens, and you really need to have a tripod with you. So with this camera, you can easily do that, and the quality of footage is really nice. What I really like about it is the autofocus performance. It uses AI to track subjects, and it's doing really well, especially when I was testing with surfers here in Morocco. It performed well. When the surfers were not so far away, it was able to recognize their face. Even when the surfers were all black, I mean in the black suits, and they were turned back to me, I didn't see their real face, the camera was able to notice and track their head. So that's really something special for this little camera. However, when the surfers were a bit far away, the tracking didn't work and it didn't show that this object is a human. But to be honest, it didn't change a lot because still the camera was, the object was in focus. And to be honest, I was really far away from them. And as you can see in the pictures, those people were really small objects in the frame. However, I think that when I was testing Canon or Sony, it worked a little bit better. I think when the object was really small, it still can recognize the face and even sometimes the eye. So yeah, maybe that was the difference. However, I think it's still the top league and it works super fast and reliable. Also in the video, I used it a little bit and it's very smooth and stable. So for vlogs or travel pictures, photography and videos, it's really a reliable, high quality autofocus. So speaking about video, in this camera you have several profiles and two new profiles for video. If you want to have a flat footage like log footage, you have OM-400. It's like a F-log or S-log equivalent from OM system, and it's pretty nice. It's 10-bit 4:0, not 4:2, which is also worth to notice, but the quality is really nice. But if you want to have like something like not so flat, it's also not colored but not so flat, you have two new profiles. It's RM Cinema 1 and 2. One of them is more flat, the second one is not so flat, but they are more easy to make some changes. Still, they gather a lot of details and highlights and shadows. What I also like is that you can use all those modes from this dial here. You can also apply them for the video. So I'm really surprised with this little camera. It's a camera that is surprisingly interesting, and I had a lot of pleasure to work with this camera on my few days in Morocco as a lifestyle travel camera. It has two natures of a small, lightweight, classic, stylish daily camera that can easily, with a flick of an eye, just change into a professional, top-notch camera that you can use professionally. That's something super unique in this market, and I think it's a really interesting offer from OM system. So I see that as a super nice travel companion or vlogging companion. I also see it as a secondary camera if you have already some of the OM system or Olympus cameras and just you want to have a second body that will be smaller and easier to use and more fancy, stylish, but without compromise in the quality of pictures. What I also like here is that in this system you have plenty of small and big lenses that fits this body very well. Think about, for example, Nikon ZF. You don't have a lot of small and nice retro lenses in the offer. That this camera is not cheap. It's quite expensive. I don't think this camera with this price will be something that will be an alternative for example, some cheaper Fujifilm cameras or cheaper full-frame cameras. It's just a different idea for it. However, I really think it's a great camera. I had a lot of fun using it and I strongly recommend it to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to create more reviews like that to help you to choose the best camera for yourself. See you in the next episodes on my channel. Bye bye!